There, George.
I got the 8 in Sand double dry hopped IPA. 8 in Sand, pretty good.
Oh,
Whoa.
It's
I've
not too
never heard
strong.
of them. Where are they from?
I'm trying to remember where they're from. I've drank their stuff. I don't want to say a lot, but a little bit. They're from New Jersey.
Semi-regularly.
Yeah. Here and there. Let's say here and there.
You've dabbled.
Yeah, just a little bit, a little bit. Yeah. No, it's good stuff, man. Yeah. What do you got for us? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a little Tempranillo. Going classy.
Ooh,
it was either this or the
Mm-hmm.
or the tall boy Michelada can that I have in the cooler from Arizona. So I figured this is probably what I should go with. Yeah. Dude, I can't be seen to be drinking red beers, in public. It's just
I'm not even sure that qualifies as a beer. The Michelada. Yeah.
Really not.
Very questionable. Yeah.
I'm sure there was no good reason why we bought them. So.
Yeah. Have folks told us in the chat what they're having for drinks tonight? Sometime I know Adam Betuel likes to share what beers he's drinking.
And Barbara is raising her hand. Barbara, send us a chat.
Yeah.
Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. While the comments come in, I'll just review. As everyone can see, we've got 3 different categories. The national birds, which Forrest will be reading. The monotypics, which is a word probably some folks don't really know. But it's basically, they're birds that they're the only, it can be genus or, family or order. In this case, we're mostly focused on monotypic families. And those are families where there's one species in the family. So those are kind of the most distinct birds in the world, really. And then Lev is going to wrap it up with the viral birds. So let me introduce everybody. I think probably a lot of y'all know us. My name's George Armistead. I'm based here in Philadelphia, where it is unseasonably warm and muggy at the moment. But we were just talking about how we're all looking forward to, well, not Forrest so much, but Lev and I are looking forward to a cold front, which will hopefully move some birds along. And Forrest is from Montana, currently in Denver, where it is quite cold, and you already got some snow there, right?
Montana. Last week, Montana got a friend of mine's ranch got over 13 inches of snow.
Good
and
Lord.
They already had the snowmobiles out, which is insane. Like that just doesn't really happen much. So, yeah, and it's going to be a pretty cold weekend. It looks like Sunday the high is like 14, 15, and the low is going to be about -9. So I get to drive home to that on Friday. That's all right. I'm enjoying the relatively balmy weather here in Denver, which is like 38. So,
nice. Yeah. Nice. Not too bad. I saw an article today that Washington, D.C. is expecting like 10 times the amount of its normal rain, a normal snowfall this winter. But, who knows what to expect with that. But then Lev, you're in Ontario, outskirts of Toronto, right? Which town?
Yep. It's called Maple or Vaughan.
Nice.
We're famous for Canada's Wonderland, the theme park that everybody, that's what we're famous for. But
okay.
I usually just say Toronto because it's it knows the little towns. But
and Lev,
happy to be here.
Lev was saying he had an orange-crowned warbler in his yard there. It's getting a little, maybe getting a little late there for that, and also had a red-breasted nuthatch land on his hand the other day in the yard.
And this is a tiny, tiny yard that backs out into another house. So it's one of these things where if I see a chickadee, it's been a good day in the yard, So it's been pretty good. Nice. But it's also warm and kind of muggy out there.
Yeah. I just turned the AC on here. I haven't had that on in
I was thinking about that too.
7 weeks. Yeah. And last but not least is our Niki Stuart, who is off camera, trying not to wake her kids at about 3 a.m. there, who is our behind the scenes technician on Mauritius. So welcome everybody. Glad to have you here. Yeah, if you got comments, want to share anything, send them through to the chat. And but I think we might as well dive in here, guys. And I think Forrest, you're up first. So why don't we get going on national birds?
Sounds
Oh,
good.
wait, I should, I gotta run through a few things. First of all, Niki is going to send to you the answer sheets in the chat, right? It'll be in the chat. You do not want to, sort of write the answers or call them out, as it were, in the chat. The idea is, we will review the questions after each round and then review the answers as well. And if you find that our faces, that the cameras, or the panel that shows all of our faces is in the way, you can actually move that panel around yourself. You don't need us to do that because sometimes it kind of gets in the way of the text and the questions if you need to read those. So, yeah, without further ado, anybody else have anything else I should hit on before we get going? Okay.
I think we're ready to roll.
Do it.
All right, Forrest, I think you are up, amigo. We're going to start with national birds.
Okay, here we go. Everybody, round one, question one. Welcome to the game and let it begin. The magnificent frigate is not only the largest of the world's 4 frigate species, it is also the national bird of what sovereign state explored by Columbus in 1493 and colonized by the British 200 years later in 1693? Is that A, Barbados, B, Grenada, C, the Bahamas, or D, Antigua and Barbuda?
One to ponder. Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I was going to include in there
question
that frigate birds actually have I can never remember how this works, but it's the lowest wing loading or the highest wing loading of any bird group in the world. I think it's the lowest wing loading, basically.
It's the lowest. Yeah, it's the lowest wing load.
Yeah,
That's
like the wing tail area relative to the body. The body's tiny and the wings and tail are just enormous. Basically like a big kite or sail, going around.
Yeah.
Weight distributed based on the surface area of the wing.
Well said, Lev. Well said.
I tried.
Yes.
I tried.
Great. Lev's clearly on his first drink of the evening.
Yeah, really. Jeez. Lucid and everything. Man.
All right, here we go. Question number 2.
There you go. All right.
What the Rufous hornero lacks in color or plumage, it makes up for with voice and personality. It is the national bird of Argentina and gets its name for the clay oven-like nests it builds. In fact, the entire ovenbird family, Furnariidae, gets its name from the horneros, as horno is the Spanish word for oven. About how many species are in this strictly New World family? How many species are in the family Furnariidae?
Yeah, got a few choices there. I know one person actually posted on Facebook about this subject after I'd already come up with the question and listed all the information. Adam down there in Georgia, I was like, oh man, he's gonna nail this one. So no excuses for you, pal.
Yeah. I see him. He's laughing in the chat right now. He's like, yeah, you got that one. Well, we should do a bonus round. How many species of Furnariids have 2 hyphens in their name, like Rufous winged foliage cleaner?
Oh, those are the worst. Those are the worst / the best.
I know. Chestnut wing foliage cleaner, Rufous tail foliage cleaner, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of.
All right, question 3, guys. Here we go. According to Wikipedia, the African fish eagle is the national bird of 3 African countries. Which 3 countries? Is it Namibia, the DRC, and Zimbabwe? Is it Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe? Is it Angola, Malawi, and Zimbabwe? Or is it Angola, Malawi, and Mozambique? I think we should throw in an E. Is it Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe? Sorry.
Deliberately trying to make these answers confusing. Who on earth would do such a thing?
Well, who does that?
Yeah. I feel like we're going to get a lot of complaints about this being a difficult quiz, but it is multiple choice.
Well, and I think our clues, we throw clues out there, subtle
Yeah.
clues.
Within the questions, there are clues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 4. In the 2000 reboot movie Charlie's Angels, Cameron Diaz enthusiastically misidentifies a troupial, which is the national bird of Venezuela, as what species that she claims is only found in Carmel? That's a pretty good movie whiff right there. Sorry, pygmy nuthatch, yellow-billed magpie, wren tit, or hooded oriole? Which
Same
bird
movie.
is supposedly only found in Carmel?
The same movie features a silver gull on the Golden Gate Bridge. I saw it, a couple years ago, and it was like embarrassing that we were watching it, but I was like, wow, there's some weird bird stuff in here.
Like some random and seemingly purposeful misbird information. Let's see. All right. So round 1, question 5. The bald eagle is well known as the USA's national bird, despite Ben Franklin's misgiving of it as being a bird of bad moral character. It was removed from the endangered species list in 1995 and then listed as threatened in 2007. To what age has the longest lived bald eagle survived to be? How old was the oldest bald eagle? Is it A, 19, B, 28, C, 38, or D, 41? I might be as old as the oldest bald eagle. I don't know.
Really?
All right, let's see. Round 1, question 6.
You don't look a day over 28, Forrest.
Oh, George, stop. You're gonna make me blush. All right, living up to 32 years old or older, with territories of up to 77 square miles, the golden eagle is the national bird of Mexico, Kazakhstan, and Germany, and the most widespread eagle species in the world. Approximately how fast are they known to move when in a dive? What speed do they regularly achieve in a dive when the golden eagle is stooping? Is it 45 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour, 140 miles per hour, or 200 miles per hour?
I'm looking and I'm seeing miles per hour, and I'm thinking,
Oh, I forgot to edit that. Yes,
Man.
yes.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
Liv.
but
what is miles?
As I told Niki and Lev before, only heathens use kilometers.
I'm not trying to be US centric here at all. All right, round 1, question 7. The national bird of Bhutan, demonstrating remarkable intelligence through tool use and problem solving. The common raven is hailed by many as the largest passerine or perching bird in the world. Found across the northern hemisphere, where are the largest common ravens found? Are the largest common ravens in the Himalaya? Are they in the Canadian Rockies, the Sonoran Desert, or the Russian Far East?
good one to
I didn't know
read the
this.
question.
Yeah,
I had no.
I got to say, we did a little test run earlier with 3 of our guides, and a lot of them didn't know the answers.
Yeah,
But
got to make them challenging, right?
That's true. I mean, it's people paid good money to be here, so
That's right.
You gotta give them
A
a
whole
shot.
Abe
can't make
Lincoln.
it too easy. You can't do that.
All right, so round 1, question 8. The Andean condor is the national bird of 5 South American countries. Like other New World vultures, it has the rather off-putting habit of defecating all over its legs.
Mm-hmm.
Why do George and the Andean condors do this? Sorry. I had to.
Totally stole my joke, man. I was going to run with that. Man,
I had to put it in the question. I had to cut you off.
nice. Nicely done. Touche.
Now, why does the Andean condor defecate all over its legs? Is it for thermoregulation, to attract mates, to protect, which I was going to make another joke about George right there, but leave it, to protect the legs during skirmishes with other condors, or is it unknown why they do this?
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have to provide visual.
Yeah. I hope nobody here has attempted B. But,
No,
yeah,
don't.
It'd be a good experiment to find out if, yeah.
Yeah, I volunteer to be the control. I'll be the
Okay.
control. Yeah.
Yep, fair. All right, question 9, round 1. Featuring in Ian Fleming's James Bond short story For Your Eyes Only, Jamaica's national bird is described as the most beautiful bird in Jamaica, and some say the most beautiful bird in the world. What is the local name in Jamaica for their national bird? What is the local name? Is it the mountain witch? Is it the duppy bat? Is it the doctor bird? Or is it the nanny? I feel
Hopefully
I did
somebody
well
here
keeping
knows
a
their-
straight face through all of that.
I was gonna say, hopefully somebody knows their Jamaican trivia here. See.
Yeah, yeah. All right, question 10. Often held as the national bird of Mongolia, UAE, and Hungary, the Saker falcon faces intense pressure from illegal capture and trade. One falcon may return hefty sums, and up to 1,000 are taken annually in Kazakhstan. What is the Saker's closest relative? What is the closest relative of the Saker falcon? They're often hybridized to produce these uber falconry birds that go for upwards of $120,000 a pop.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah.
But they're not often hybridized with the bird they are most closely related to.
No,
All right,
they-
Lev, easy there, trooper. No,
Whoa,
that's
whoa, whoa.
it's not
I'm just
TMI
trying
here.
to be helpful, George.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be helpful.
Mhm.
Give this
All
thing
right.
away, man.
Or maybe I'm trying to lead people on the wrong path. Who knows? You know,
Yeah, that's true.
all
Could be
kinds of
decoy.
dastardly.
Little sleight of hand there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, question 11. Paraguay's national bird is the bare-throated bellbird of the Cotinga family. Which bird in this family is known for having the loudest call ever recorded? Is it the white bellbird, the three-wattled bellbird, the capuchin bird, or the screaming peahaw?
A lot of loud birds there.
Yes,
Mhm.
that is some high volume birds in the Cotinga family. It's weird because some of them barely like say anything. Like blue Cotinga and like lovely, that group, they like
All the
they,
ones in the genus Cotinga, yeah, they're mute.
yeah, they hardly make
Yeah.
a sound, but these ones like
Yeah, these ones
have you guys ever heard capuchin bird? Like that's one of my most wanted
Yeah,
things
in
to hear.
Guyana.
It's awesome. Yeah, they're awesome.
Pretty amazing bird to see and hear.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is bizarre. All right, so that's the end of round 1.
Yeah.
End
Yeah.
of
So,
round
what better thing to talk about than the global birding weekend that just happened?
Yeah.
Or the big day, eBird's big day. So, Forrest, I noticed you had some interesting sightings for the global birding weekend. So, yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it kind of, I guess the stars aligned a little bit. So I had a gig down in Vegas I needed to go do and visit a couple friends. And then we continued on, and I met up with a couple buddies, including a friend from Montana who flew down for that weekend in Southeast Arizona. So we started the day by looking at a roseate spoonbill sitting on a saguaro cactus.
Wow.
After house sparrow, that was the first like native bird of the day. It was a roseate spoonbill at dawn perched on top of a saguaro cactus at the Gilbert Water Ranch outside of Phoenix.
We got to share that video later.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So strange looking. That video was like, I was like, what in tarnation is this going to be?
Yeah, in the middle of the desert. It's so weird. So this juvenile, I guess, has been there for a while. And they get a few up from the Salton Sea on, occasion in that part of Arizona. But again, I just never expected in my lifetime to see a spoonbill sitting on a saguaro. The next target we went for that day, because it was going to be an ABA tick for my buddy Tom, and a life bird for him as well, was northern Jasana. There was a northern Jasana, and it was the weirdest tick too, because you just pull up and it's just a bridge in the middle of town in Tucson, and you're looking down in this little river matte vegetation. There's just a jacana walking around right there off of this walking bridge.
Nice.
And then we continued on and met up with our other buddy who had been camping out the night before in the Chiricahuas, and we pulled up to a group of 6 people looking at 2 of possibly 3 in the area, but 2 eared quetzals. So that was pretty spectacular. I hadn't seen an eared quetzal in probably 8 years, maybe 9.
I haven't seen one in like 46.
Yeah, I've never seen
right,
one.
right.
And it's
A lot
a
of people
huge
haven't.
nemesis for me. It's a huge nemesis for me. I've tried like so many times to get to
Yeah,
Madeira,
yeah.
but all kinds of things went wrong. And like these showed up like just at about the time like at the pandemic, and it was terrible. Canada just shut everything down, and they're shutting everything down now. So I have to be responsible. But I am very jealous, Forrest. But I'm
going to rub it in a little bit.
I'm very happy for you. Yeah,
I'm going to rub it in a little now, Lev, because honestly, the ears quetzals I've seen were not really easy, except there was this lek site we found where there are a few males, kind of interacting. But these 2 were just right on the side of the road, and they're sitting there just hovering around, eating elder and hackberries. And it was definitely the easiest eared quetzal kind of situation I ever expected. I expected to have to work a lot harder. We basically just saw them from the car while seating, looking for a parking spot. So anyways, it was really cool. So we had a great, we had a great weekend. Yeah, it was really an awesome day.
Right on.
Superb day. Ended with a purr wheel that I could have picked up. I haven't seen
Was it like torpor or something?
Yeah, I was just like right here. No, I was just sitting in the middle of the road, and it just let me walk right up to it and take a little video. I was probably 6 inches from it when it finally flew off, and then came back when we drove. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. I saw some ring-billed gulls. We had to hire a boat for
Not
3
quite an
hours.
eared quetzal.
We had to hire a boat for 3 hours to see them. So that was, and we saw 2 red-breasted mergansers, which for where I was is a real rarity. So that was my excitement. But that was a good day, though. Good day.
It's all relative. It's all relative.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always fun. Always
as long
fun.
as you can get out and enjoy the fresh air, like you have to be thankful for that. So.
Yeah.
Well, and you contributed to what? What did we end up with? Like 1,800 species or something?
Oh yeah,
crazy for the
wild,
team.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that was bonkers.
Meg was saying, Meg Taylor, who pretty much was kind of the lead organizer for our participation, she's like, imagine how many. She was like, we saw 1,800 plus species, and we barely left home. Like, imagine what we could do if we were actually running trips right now.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, very cool.
All right.
Yeah, so do we want to run through the answers really quick for round 1 before we
I've got the answers for you. So having a look here at 3rd place is Birdwatchers Digest. Well done.
Ooh, nice. I know that's Kelly and Jessica and some others. Nice.
And
Nice.
2nd place is Green Jays. And
All right.
1st is Paul Randall.
Nice, Paul. He was 2nd place finish last time.
Right on.
Yeah.
Coming in strong.
Nice. I'll just navigate back here.
Sure. And I'll go through this kind of quickly here. So the round 1, question 1, the sovereign state that has the magnificent frigate bird as its national bird is Antigua and Barbuda. That was D, Antigua and Barbuda. Question 2, there are approximately 240 species of furnariids.
Nope, sorry, that's incorrect. Actually, I gave you the old answer sheet. It's the correct answer is D.
Oh,
Yeah.
That makes more sense actually.
Yeah.
350.
Yeah, I think it was
That makes a lot more sense.
It was 240 until they added in the wood creepers basically, and maybe a few other things, and then it went. So
yeah, that's
there are
huge.
a lot of wood creepers.
All right, so yeah, that's crazy. 315.
it's a lot, man. Yeah.
That's a lot of hyphens. That's a lot of hyphens. All right, so question 3. Question 3, the 3 countries with African fish eagle as a national bird are B, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Question 4, in the 2000s reboot of Charlie's Angels, a pygmy nuthatch was declared by Cameron Diaz to be endemic to Carmel. It was A.
Nice. Very similar to a tropial. Very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, I've made that mistake myself.
Endemic to Carmel as well.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see, bald eagle. Here we go. Well known. The oldest bald eagle was C, 38 years old. And the fastest, or I guess, fastest speed they're known to reach in a dive, golden eagles can reach up to 200 miles per hour.
How crazy is that, huh?
That's insane. That is crazy.
I think that's relatively new news. I found it on the Cornell's All About Birds. You know, the peregrines are sort of between 200, 230, according to some sources. But golden eagle, I mean, one of the craziest birds in the world. I think the ones in Kazakhstan are like known to fend off wolves from some of the carcasses they feed on and stuff. Those are the biggest ones in Central Asia. But 200 miles an hour, that knocked my socks off.
In Montana, they'll take out young of the year deer and pronghorn antelope, and you can see how. I mean, they're a little bit of weight and going 200 miles an hour, they can break a leg.
I've heard that they knock mountain goats off the cliffs every now and then. I don't know if it's young ones or, I mean, imagine like a mountain goat all of a sudden, like,
Getting knocked off.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be beneath that, but
yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. All right, so the question about Bhutan's national bird, the common raven. The largest common ravens are from the Himalaya. That was A, the Himalayas. And the Andean condor, the national bird of 5 South American countries, it is unknown why they defecate on their legs.
Yeah, some theories abound, but none have been proven apparently as of yet. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. If any of us are looking for a PhD opportunity, get after it.
Yeah, and the other thing that's nice about New World vultures, is if you get too close to them, they projectile vomit at you too. So they got a lot. They got a lot going on.
I mean, I think everyone probably wants a turkey vulture roost in their backyard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everybody loves a good vulture roost over their house. All right, let's see. Featured in James Bond short story For Your Eyes Only, Jamaica's national bird is locally known as the doctor bird. The doctor bird.
Yeah, the streamer tail.
The toady? Or it's the streamer tail.
The streamer tail, which is a hummingbird, real fancy hummingbird. The other ones there, if you're wondering, are actually real Jamaican things. The mountain witch is the quail dove, one of the most beautiful quail doves in the world. The duppy bat is what they call the mountain, the black witch, which is that giant moth that is all over the place. And supposedly they turn into duppies, which are ghosts. And then the nanny is a famous historical character that's depicted on like the equivalent of their $20 bill. So
cool. Yeah. All right. Autumnal national bird of several countries and extremely expensive. Saker falcons are most closely related to B, the gerfalcon. So the two most desired falcons in the falconry industry are gerfalcon and Saker falcon, 100%. Yep.
Big beasts.
Big beasts and big business culturally in the Middle East. Paraguay's national bird, which is the loudest bird ever recorded. Let's see. Oh, the bird in the family, which is the loudest bird ever recorded, is the white bellbird. A, white bellbird.
Article in Audubon about that earlier this year.
How'd the trial go with that? Did some of the guys get that?
Actually, no. I think none of them got it. Let's see. I know that
a lot probably bit at the peahaw.
Yes,
3-wattle bellbird. Yeah,
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's hard with the bellbirds too, because I guess like how close would you have?
Yes.
To
Yeah.
They're all so loud, but it's
Yeah. This was like the loudest recorded, but I imagine it's possible that if they got better recordings of like 3-wattled bellbirds, some of them might be as loud or louder. Who knows?
Yeah, I've heard bare-throated. Somebody thrown around that might be the loudest, but a white bellbird, Guyana shield endemic, and there's like a little population in
that's cool. It's a cool bird.
Cool.
All right, round two.
I'm going to dive in here to round two, and I think this is the hardest round, guys. So and then we'll get to viral birds. Before we get to the viral birds, we do have the lightning round, which Lev will host, which is bird sounds, and we'll play some cool recordings we got picked out. But I'll do round two here. Monotypics is, as I said, are basically birds in like a species that is in its own family, where there's not really any other close relatives. So distinct bird. I used to like to say most unique, but that's a big no-no. So yeah.
Unique
So yeah.
connotations. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So what monotypic bird is unique among wading birds in that it uses the heat from the ground to incubate its eggs, and so can leave the eggs unattended for up to 2.5 days? And the answer options are A, mallee fowl, B, crab plover, C, sunbittern, and D, plains wanderer.
This is one where a careful reading of the questions will aid the quiz
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, there's a couple here where there's a few little decoys and hitches in the giddy up. So, the ostrich is question number 2. The ostrich is well known as the largest bird in the world. The second largest is the emu of the family Dromaeodae, which today has but one extant species and can stand 1.9 meters tall for those of you heathens that use the metric system, or 6.2 feet tall. What is the origin of the word emu believed to have signified? Is it A, large bird, B, dinosaur bird, C, oil bird, or D, runner? Question number 3. New Caledonia is home to one of the world's most strange and distinct birds, the kagu. Which of the following statements is also true about New Caledonia? All right, people, this is a chance to really test your New Caledonia trivia skills here. Which of the following is also true about New Caledonia? Is it that A, Captain Bligh sought refuge here after the mutiny on the Bounty? B, it is surrounded by the world's largest lagoon? C, English is the official language? D, former U.S. presidential hopeful Tulsi Gabbard lived much of her life here? Question number 4. The sunbittern is a handsome monotypic bird of the neotropics with a unique wing pattern some say recalls a setting sun. What is believed to be its closest relative or relatives? Is it A, the flamingos, B, the kagu, C, the plains wanderer, or D, the mesites? By the way, plains wanderer is the last family that Adam Riley has not seen in the world. It's his one remaining one, unless there's one of the new ones, but that they split that he doesn't have. But last I was speaking to him, that was his last one that he needed. So those things are in bad shape too. Love to see one someday. All right, question number 5. This one's got a lot of Latin or Greek in it, in the answers at least. But you'll notice at the end, after each family name is the English name. Which monotypic bird families are endemic to North America, that is Panama and North, including the Caribbean? Is it A, limpkin, sapioa, and wild turkey? B, wren thrush, yellow-breasted chat, and chat tanager? C, thrush tanager, spindalis, Cuban warbler? Or D, palm chat, olive warbler, or Puerto Rican tanager? This might be the toughest one. I feel like this is one of the trickier questions that we asked today.
It is a good one, though.
Yeah, I think so. That was one Stefan came up with, Stefan Lorenz. Which monotypic bird family nests in colonial bulky stick nests? That's question number 6. Monotypic bird that nests in bulky stick nests. Is it black-capped Donacobius, palm chat, Hypocoleus, or wattled plowbill?
Just kind of jumping back to the last question with olive warbler being in Arizona last weekend. How do you guys feel about the Ocatero for olive warbler?
I like that name way better.
I like that. Yeah,
I like it so
olive
much more.
warbler is a horrible name. Like it's not
olive or warbler.
It's not really olive colored at all, and it's not really a warbler at all.
Yeah, it's got to be the worst bird name, I think. Like there's a lot of bad bird names out there.
It's right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ocatero. It's cool.
Yeah.
Me too. I think it's way better.
Yeah, we just started calling it that.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I bet you AOU makes that change. I'll bet you they do. We'll
They
see.
might.
Yeah. Okay, question number 7. Madagascar is a hotspot for endemism and unique bird families. How many monotypic bird families are endemic to Madagascar? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Question number 8. On average, which of the following monotypic bird families reaches the highest elevations? Is it A, wall creeper, B, Przewalski's pinktail, C, spotted elychura, or D, sapayoa? Some good bird names in there too. Spotted elychura is one of my most wanted. The pinktail looks cool, but I'd like to see
And
spotted
the
elychura.
name and Przewalski's or Przewalski's or, I mean, that's always been kind
Tchaikovsky's.
of an interesting.
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky's,
Przewalski.
Dostoevsky's pigtail. Yeah, just call it. Just make it up. It's fine.
Yeah, just call it pinktail. Be done with it.
Yeah, the pigtail.
Yeah. Question number 9. What is the only bird with a digestive system that ferments vegetation as a cow does? Is it A, palmchat, B, hammercop, C, Watson, or D, shoebill? Shoebill being the bird depicted in the upper right there, which is one of the monotypic families. Question number 10, the penultimate question of this round. The Watson and what other bird species are the only 2 birds in the world so distinct, meaning no close relatives, that they are not only in their own family, but also in their own order? Is it A, cuckoo roller, B, kiwi, C, Magellanic plover, or D, Egyptian plover? All right, last question of round 2. Feasting on cobras plus other snakes, mongooses, tortoises, and lizards, the iconic secretary bird appears on the coat of arms for both Sudan and South Africa and is so named, according to most authorities, due to which of the following? A, its long legs and gait. B, its shrewd hunting, recalling that of a defense secretary. C, the quill-like feathers of the head. D, the current name is a corruption of the ancient Swahili name. And that is it for round number 2. Shall I go back and read the scores, and then Niki, you can update us, or shall I go back and read the answers? And Niki, you
Just
can then
wait for a few minutes. I'm waiting for all the responses to
Okay.
come in.
Yeah, I'll run through them, and then people can, maybe that'll help folks with their final submissions.
Don't want to give away any answers, and yeah.
Well, that is a very good point. Yes, yes. Yeah.
That would
Is there
make
any
this
question?
round not the hardest round of the quiz.
That's true. It'd make it considerably easier. Yes.
a much easier round than expected.
Yeah.
We'll give you 1 more minute to submit your answers. Otherwise, if you're
That was
late,
pretty
I
tough.
won't take you in.
The good one.
Yeah.
Two more teams. I'm waiting for you.
You know what?
One more
While you
team.
wait, I'm going to refresh my beverage. I'll be right back.
Cool. I actually had someone come in and refill my wine glass in the interim.
Oh yeah.
Very fancy.
I actually did refresh mine, but
I saw
did
your
it-
screen go dark for
I
a
did it
second.
in secrecy. Yeah, I did it in secrecy.
Yeah.
The never-ending tall boy. Yep.
I just want to hear from Niki about how nice it is in Mauritius right now.
Oh man, it's
Pretty cold and miserable over here, so.
It's I have no idea what cold is. It's never cold. It's just summer all year long.
You're so lucky.
Like Groundhog Day on Mauritius, yeah.
Winter
Groundhog
is,
Day.
yeah, winter is wearing a t-shirt, and summer is just making sure your t-shirt's arms are open.
Oh. That's amazing.
All
All right. How we doing, Niki?
I've got putting in the
Okay.
numbers now, and I will just remember.
Right, shall I
everyone,
run through the
You may run through.
okie doke?
Oh, and George,
All right,
real
guys.
quick, My friend Nate wants to say hi. I'm staying at Nate Skinner's place here while I'm in Denver.
Oh, Nate Skinner,
Hey,
man.
Nate.
Hello.
Oh, man. Big shout
Dude.
out, Nate.
Yeah. There you go. Good to know you guys are getting your chill on. Nice. Cool. All right. So yeah, what monotypic bird is unique among wading birds for using the heat from the ground to incubate and can leave the eggs unattended for 2.5 days? Some of you might have thought of the mallee fowl, but the mallee fowl is not monotypic actually, nor are they a wading bird. The answer is actually B, crab plover. Crab plover, a bird of the Indian Ocean, one of the more beautiful birds in the world, just black and white and stunning. Beautiful bird.
Oman and the UAE are a really cool place to see those two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oman,
Yep.
too. Another good
Yeah, Oman's great.
Yep. Okay. The answer to this one, the origin of the word emu, is believed to be a large bird, although I put oil bird as an answer, even though there is a bird called oil bird, because there's the emu oil business seems to be picking up a lot, although it seems a little bit like snake oil business to me. But still,
there's a lot of emu farms popping up here in Ontario.
Yes.
And actually, a friend of mine hit an emu that had escaped one night, and she thought it was a person. She thought it was a person. She was driving outside of one of these emu farms, and it like jumped out. And this was in Ontario in like November, right? So you don't expect an emu, and it just jumped out and hit her windshield. And yeah, she thought it was a person, but thankfully, well, I shouldn't say thankfully. I'm not sure if the emu was okay or not, but it was an emu rather than a person. So a little bit frightening.
Yeah, that's probably the only known instance of roadkill emu in Canada, I'm guessing, although there may be more on the
Well,
road.
you never know. I mean, Canada's a great place.
Well, we all watch Letterkenny.
Popular, so.
Yeah.
Pitter patter.
Yeah.
Get at her.
Pitter patter, get at her.
Yeah,
That's right.
You have to. So.
Yeah.
One must.
Yeah.
New Caledonia, the one that is true, the world's largest lagoon. Captain Bligh sought refuge on nearby Fiji. French is the language. And Tulsi Gabbard, of course, is from American Samoa. This one, the closest relative is the kagu. Pretty weird. Two birds opposite side of the planet. They're not really probably all that closely related anyway, but they are apparently each other's closest relatives. Number 5. This was a tricky one, in part because we listed a couple families that are not monotypic, and in part because there's one or two that like the thrush tanager, barely spills over into Colombia. So the answer is D, palm chat, acatero if you prefer, / olive warbler, and Puerto Rican tanager. That was the correct answer for that one. Tough one.
And I thought it was B, but there's actually 2 chat tanagers. It's not monotypic. There's an Eastern and Western.
That's exactly right. That was the tricky one. Yeah,
I saw that and I was like, I don't know, there might be 2, but then you have to read the question. So,
yeah, that was another Stefan Lorenz question.
It was a good one. It was really good.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yep. All right. The bulky stick nests, that is the palm chat, endemic to Hispaniola, the DR and Haiti. One of my most wanted birds, even though it's quite common, easy to see, but just looks like such a cool bird. Madagascar here, the answer is 4. 4 endemic families on Madagascar. Was 5 until they threw the Vangas in there with the helmet shrikes and so forth.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 endemic bird families. I can't remember what all of them are, but in fact, don't say it because I think that might be too revealing of some later questions.
Yeah.
On average, which of the following monotypic bird families reaches the highest elevation? This was the wall creeper. The wall creeper is the answer.
It's about 3,300 meters, I think, or 3,400 meters. The highest singing males ever located.
That is getting up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much that is in feet or whatever, but
it's not important.
Yeah, I might rather just see him in the Pyrenees. It seems a little easier there. Yeah.
That's where I saw mine. Yeah. At a dam. Beautiful birds, though.
Oh, such cool birds. Yeah.
India, and had them in a riverbed in India with an ibis bill, which was actually kind of cool to see.
Nice.
That's a nice combo.
Not
nice.
bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, that's, by the way, that's the second highest, I believe, is the ibis bill.
Ibis bill, right?
Yeah. What is the only bird with the funky digestive system? That is the Watson, the very strange Watson. The Watson and this other bird species are the only two birds that are not only in their own family, but their own order. That is the cuckoo roller. So those are the two most distinct birds in the world, the Watson.
Which is wild, because I imagine a lot of people would jump to kiwi because it just, because some of those are so, but yeah.
And of course, kiwis, part of the trick there was that kiwis are not monotypic anymore. They're like, what are they, like, I don't know. Some people say 3 species, some people say 7 or whatever. Yeah. It's difficult to keep track of. And this one here, the secretary bird's name is letter C, the quill-like feathers of the head. Okay. Niki, how are we doing?
Drum roll. Ty, third place, is Eva and Ethan. Good job.
Oh, nice.
Then Ty, second place, we've got Corvid and Green Jays. And in the lead, Mr. Paul Randall.
Oh, man.
Right on.
Paul, a formidable opponent.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Who took it last time? Was it Nick Block last time?
Yes. Yeah. He being an ornithologist himself and the guy that hosts the AOU's quiz, he was in a strong position. Yeah,
he's in a good place to know a fair amount of trivia. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. All right, Lev, I think you're up, man.
All right, lightning round. Okay, the bird sounds, probably my favorite portion of the quiz here. So we're going to show you 6 different bird sounds, and we'll play them twice, and I'll give a little bit of a clue as to what it could be. And this is a guessing one. It's not a multiple choice, so you'll have to guess as to what species it is. So, all right, without further ado, we can sound number 1. We'll play it the first time. Lovely bird.
Sounds coming through okay?
I can hear them.
Okay, good.
So this is one that's romanticized very often in European literature for singing at night. But when you hear it, it's a member of a sort of, there's 2 different ones that are usually quite prominent. But this one, when you hear it the first time, it's often not what you expected it to sound like. So we'll play it again.
Some mimicry in there too, yeah?
Yeah. In the sort of 2 species complex, this one does a lot more of a melancholy song, a more reeling. I really like, because it's a childhood sound of mine. Ezra Campanelli asks, do we have to give a specific species or just the family? Hey Ezra, nice to see you participating in the quiz here. And yes, you do have to give a specific species. For this particular question, you can give a 1-word answer. There are 2 potential species it could be. They sound very similar. So it's either a 1-word or a 2-word answer. So, all right, we're moving on to number 2.
All right, I just wanted to give one nice sound here, Lev.
There you go. Identify that sound. Yeah, that's all cheers to that, George.
Cheers.
All right, here's number 2.
All right. Number 2. Sounds like somebody yelling at their TV during the presidential debate. Yeah, there's two there's two birds calling in that sound. It's a bird that's widespread through the forests of North and parts of South America, and there's actually one record in the ABA, the American Birding Area. There's one record. So we'll play the sound again. It's a rather funny sound. One often given pre-dawn, so while it's still dark, if you are in the range of this bird, you will often hear them singing. So
and whoever selected that particular track, I applaud you. That is a fun
it was me. It was me. This was.
That's a really fun recording of that. That's great.
Yeah, I thought it would. I thought it would get some chuckles. So wait till you hear number 3, though, Forrest. Yeah, that's really the creme of the crop for me. So we'll go with number 3.
Niki, please mute your microphone. It's a bit.
Oh
This is terribly inappropriate.
Really, honestly.
Yeah, that's one. It's a very large bird. It's part of a family of birds that are very large, but very capable of flight. Some, including this one, do perform long distance migration. And you have to be very close to them to hear the sound that they make. There you go.
Can you imagine that there's a female bird out there that hears this and it's like, that sounds pretty good, you know?
Yeah, good enough, you know.
Good enough. Yeah, it's just good enough. Yeah.
Pitter patter.
That's right. Right. So that was sound number 3. We're going on to sound number 4. Is the main song of a bird that has a variety of different calls.
Most wanted.
Yeah, it's a grassland bird, and there are several records in the ABA area, though it's mostly a Eurasian species. The most recent record, well, I shouldn't say that. One of the more recent records actually met its early demise by getting hit by a vehicle on a rather famous occasion. So we can play that again. What a distinctive sound of the European grassy countryside. There you have it. All right, we'll move on to number 5 there. The sound you hear there is not the bird. It's that metallic kind of bizarre sound. It's a New World bird. One of the northernmost representatives of its small little group of birds. We'll play that again. It's a colonial bird.
Usually when they make this sound, they're doing a really cool motion.
Yes. All right, so that was number 5, and we'll move on to number 6 there. This is a circumpolar species that exists throughout the northern forests of the world, the northern hemisphere. That is the sound that it makes in North America when you approach its nest too closely. In Europe, there are several representatives of this same species, but it makes a different sound. But we'll play it again, and it's one that often strikes fear into the heart of the perhaps the point counter in North American forests if they were ever to hear that sound. So
I'll tell you, my dog didn't like it during the trial today. My dog heard that and he was like,
an intelligent creature.
well, I'm not sure I'd go that far, but Okay.
All right. That,
So probably, I'm guessing Niki might need some time to, and some folks are probably writing stuff in here still.
I got, just on a personal anecdote, if I can, that last species actually knocked me off a bike once.
wow. That it has drawn blood a couple of times for me also. Never knocked me off a bike though. That sounds pretty terrifying. Yeah, that
Yep, nesting pair close to a bike trail that I wanted to frequent, but then did not.
Learned quickly that would not be the case. All right. I'm wondering, Niki, are you set, or should we move on and then we can do the answers to lightning round and round 3 together at the end?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any forms coming in, so maybe everyone's still typing out. So
Okay.
maybe go on to the next question.
Everybody
I'll
got
send
the
out the link
forms
now.
okay? Or maybe they're just like,
Sure.
that's ridiculous. We're not sending the forms.
Maybe-
I'll sure.
I'm
Why
thinking
don't we
question.
give the folks a couple of minutes here? Actually,
Okay.
I'm gonna run and use the
All right, we'll allow that, Lev. We'll allow that. We should end up like the Indian condor. So
yeah. Well,
yeah.
you know what? That's very.
Are we confusing everyone with the Bird Sounds of North America label?
Oh, perhaps that is true. These, I should say, these, some of them are from North America, but some of them are, not all these birds are from North America. That is a very good point, Niki. Can't believe we didn't pick that. Nobody picked that up in the trial.
Yeah,
Well, they've
we threw
occurred
that
in
to
North
just
America,
trick
right?
everyone.
'Cause I mean,
Well, no,
North
I mean,
America,
some of them,
including, like,
actually, let's see.
Central, I mean, if you include Mexico.
Actually, almost all of them have occurred in North America. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trying
I
to
mean,
think
but
if-
it could be a little misleading because their home range isn't necessarily
Yeah.
here. But
Yeah.
but they have all occurred,
Yeah, I think
at least
I
from
think-
Mexico north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one I'm not sure about, but I think it might have occurred. But yeah,
there
suffice
is
it to say.
There's one that has not occurred in North America.
Okay.
As far
Yeah.
as I'm aware.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the other
there's one.
ones have. Well, there might be two. But yeah.
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 Okay.
North
Well,
America, north of Mexico, we should say.
well, if nobody's submitted, then everyone's on equal footing. So,
Yeah,
Fair enough.
are none of the forms coming in still?
let's have a look. No forms. No forms yet.
All right. Well, if anybody has any questions about that in the chat, let us know. We could always return to this at the end and
Oh,
after.
there we go. Sorry, it does help if I'm looking at the right forms. I was looking at the third round.
That's what we get for getting Niki up at 4 a.m. in Mauritius, right?
Yeah, so sorry, I've got 14 in and yeah, so a couple more to go. So let's give you one more minute and then just call it, and then I'll quickly add it up for you guys.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Why don't we go on to round 3, and then we can do the answers back to back for these 2 rounds.
All right, good idea. I'm going to send you the link now for
Oops.
round
Here they go. Go.
Oh, all of them.
Oh. All right.
God, what is happening, George?
Yeah,
What is
that-
happening over there?
It's like that scene in Cabin in the Woods when all the monsters come out at once. It's like,
Oh boy.
all right, Lev, here you go,
yes,
man.
round 3. So this is the viral birds one. So this is my favorite one because it's pretty fun. Yeah. So here we go. Round 3, question 1. In January of 2018, what species of strangely colored bird showed up in a backyard in Alabaster, Alabama, and quickly went viral? Is it A, northern cardinal, B, yellow cardinal, C, masked cardinal, or D, hybrid cardinal? So like a cardinal hybrid. Those are your options there for number 1. All right, number 2, the Great Backyard Bird Count is an annual backyard census that takes place in winter every year in Canada and the USA. But it's not limited to backyards, so it could be slightly outside of backyards, like local patches, we'll say. So in 2020, what was the most numerous most numerous bird reported on the backyard bird count? Is it A, northern cardinal, B, black-capped chickadee, C, snow goose, or D, red-winged blackbird? All right. And moving on to number 3, the Global Big Day is a worldwide competition to see how many species people can see in each country. Of course, it's only part of it is a competition, but people, you know, anytime there's an event like this, people are bound to get competitive. So which country, quote unquote, won or had the most number of species during the Global Big Day in 2020? Is it A, the USA? Is it B, Colombia, C, Ecuador, or D, Brazil? Those are your options. And number 4. So a paper was recently published about a viral new bird song that has made its way from Western populations to Eastern populations of a common North American songbird. So which species is it? Is it white-throated sparrow, A, white-breasted nuthatch, B, C, white-winged crossbill, or D, white-crowned sparrow? Okay, something to ponder. And number 5, a very rare bird of prey has been in the UK for many weeks, making several headlines, blocking traffic, and attracting thousands of birders. What is it? Is it A, a long-legged buzzard, B, lesser kestrel, C, bearded vulture, also known as lammergeier, or D, oriental hobby? All right, moving on. A European songbird appeared on the grounds of a Beijing zoo early last year and attracted thousands of birders from all over China, causing traffic jams and filling flights. What species was this? Was it a blackbird, A? Was it a dunnock, B? C, European robin, or D, mallard? Another one that pays to read the question. And number 7, an East Asian waterfowl appeared in a famous New York City park and caused a huge media circus, despite certainly being an escaped pet. What bird was it? Was it a Baikal teal, A? Was it an eastern spot-billed duck, B? Was it a gargany, C? Or was it D, mandarin duck? We'll have a look at that. And number 8, a recent news article documented a bird that has broken a long-distance travel record, traveling 1,200 kilometers or 7,500 miles.
Miles, please.
Yeah. 7,500 miles in one nonstop passage. So this is a key point there. What bird species was it? Was it A, the Arctic tern? Was it B, the bar-tailed godwit? C, common swift? Or D, wandering albatross? All right. And question 9. We'll give some time for the folks to answer the questions here, because I think we're going a little bit fast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying. I figured some folks may be concerned about other plans tonight, so I was trying to hustle a little bit. But yes, I don't.
Yeah. So question 9. So a viral video from South or Central America featured a spider of the genus Avicularia, which is a bird-eating spider. It's a big, fat spider. And this thing was eating a bird while sitting on a roof. What species of bird was the Avicularia eating? Was it a house wren, A, B, house sparrow, C, European starling, or D, blue-black grassquit? So Don says that we're going too slowly, so that's good. That's a good indicator. That,
all right, Don.
Our pace is
good. Looking out, so Don.
Thank you for looking out for us, Don.
Yeah, Don knows how to hustle too. So
yeah,
gotta keep us focused. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, the penultimate question, big important question. A viral video from Norway featured a captive bird being stroked or petted, which many viewers believed was actually a rabbit from the video that they saw. So what bird species was confused for a rabbit? Was it A, cockatiel, B, red jungle fowl, C, white-necked raven, or D, rock pigeon? Yep, those are your 4 options for question 10. And last, but certainly not least, number 11. So in 2020, earlier, a video of a giant bird of prey apparently carrying a shark went viral as onlookers worried some sort of real-life Sharknado event was occurring. What was the bird species in the video? Was it A, osprey, B, Steller sea eagle, C, bald eagle, or D, African fish eagle?
Now, if it wasn't 2020, but Sharknado. I don't know. It's 2020.
I know, it seems possible.
Possible.
Yeah,
Definitely possible.
yeah. I wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah. We have to be prepared for everything, I think. So.
Cool. Well, while the results are coming in, just before we run through the answers, and we shall continue to hustle, because I know it's been about an hour now, and folks probably do have other stuff to do, but did want to remind folks that of our webinar series. We just completed our 20th webinar. This one yesterday was on Japan. Next week's is on Argentina and Patagonia. Should be pretty awesome. Bobby Wilcox in Iowa is going to be telling us about hooded grebes and pumas and one of the most scenic places on earth. So I wanted to encourage folks to have a look at that. Sign up. It's easily findable under the media section on our website or via social media posts. Also, I was lucky enough to guest on this new birding show, The Birders Show, hosted by Chris Bell and Diego Calderon, a new YouTube series. The first episode is out as of yesterday, and I think the second episode is either out today or coming out very soon on YouTube. Go check it out, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Diego is a fascinating dude. Kidnapped by FARC at one point and spent what was it, a couple months, I think, Forrest, or something, under their care.
Several months.
A remarkable guy and a fascinating person and just a good dude all around. And same is true for Chris Bell as well, who's been there at Where Next, where they produce a lot of really, really good birding content. So please go check that out. We'll have some posts on it. But if you go to YouTube and look up The Birders Show, you should find it pretty easily. So with that, I'm going to run on back to the bird sounds. And I'll just do a quick play here again. And then, Lev, you can give the answers.
All right. So number one, lovely blend of mimicry, trills, and their own sounds. The bird is a thrush nightingale. But nightingale would have gotten you full points as well. Originally, this was a recording that we thought was common nightingale, but it's taken in Moscow, and the trilling and the low pitch and the melancholiness of it actually proved it to be a thrush nightingale. So there's a common and a thrush nightingale. If you put nightingale or thrush nightingale, you would have gotten it correct. So good for you. Number two, the yelling at the TV screen. Or other activities. That is a pair of duetting collared forest falcons. Record of that in Santa Ana National Wildlife Refuge, I believe. But quite a common dawn sound in Central and South America, some places. So, yeah. Sound number three.
Niki's favorite bird.
Yeah, sounds like... sounds like the aftermath of a bad coleslaw, but
never gets old.
It is a bird. It's a real bird. It's great bustard, the greatest of bustards. This is a sound that you only hear if you're right up against the bird, so you have to be really close to hear them doing that while they're displaying. But it is a very
not terribly odoriferous, thankfully.
No, thankfully not. And
quite pleasant, actually.
Yeah, not bad. Really.
Yeah. We'll go to number four. That droning two-part song. This is the main song of the male corncrake. So corncrake is the correct answer. A few records here and there in North America, more common earlier than now. Probably due to the prevalence of people. And number five is Montezuma or a pendula. Montezuma or a pendula, a common, hard, walking oriole that you see in parts of Central America there. And number six.
Terrified my golden retriever, just terrified.
You recognize this song or the sound. It's a goshawk. It's northern goshawk. This is the North American version. The European and Asian version sound significantly different, but it is a goshawk.
All right, we ready for the cabin in the woods chaos? I can't seem to get out of this without all the bird sounds going off at once.
All right.
Oh, it worked.
Oh, you did it.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so the answers to round 3. Number 1, a strangely colored bird in Alabama. The answer is northern cardinal, A. So it was a yellow variant, a bizarre color mutation of the northern cardinal.
There is actually a species called yellow cardinal from South America.
There is,
folks are wondering.
it's one that's impacted by the cage bird trade.
Not even close to as yellow as that one in Alabama was, however.
No. Question 2, the Great Backyard Bird Count. What's the most numerous bird reported on the Great Backyard Bird Count? The answer is C, snow goose. Yeah, by far, it was like something like 7 million of them. And it only takes a few people within the wintering range of snow geese to get that sort of number. So while it's definitely not a common backyard bird, it's certainly a numerous bird that people have encountered during this count period. So.
Well, I think Mike Pence's fly has just found my screen over here. See here.
Round 3, the Global Big Day. Who has seen, or which country has seen the most species during this year's Global Big Day? The answer is Colombia. The answer is Colombia. And for the past several Global Big Days, this has been the case. Of course, it's the country with the most recorded bird species in the world. So that is to be expected, but they do a fantastic job during the big day. Yeah, I know people are
The active bird community, birding community.
Yeah. Number 4, a paper was recently published about a viral bird song that made its way from west to east. Which species was it? The answer is A, white-throated sparrow. White-throated sparrow is the answer to that. And question number 5, a rare bird of prey in the United Kingdom that blocked traffic, attracted thousands of birders. The answer is C, bearded vulture or lammergeier. It's a young bird. And number 6, a European songbird in Beijing in the zoo that caused a whole bunch of traffic problems and filling of flights. That bird was C, the European robin, a very attractive little bird. And number 7, an East Asian waterfowl in New York City's Central Park. It was, of course, D, the mandarin duck, which I'm sure was difficult to avoid on the news. But
the hot duck. Remember, everybody called it the hot duck.
That's right. Yeah. And number 8, a bird that broke a long-distance travel record that traveled a whole bunch of distance, 1,200 kilometers or 7,500 miles. 12,000 kilometers, I should say, and it was a bar-tailed godwit, so it was B, bar-tailed godwit. And number 9, Central America, there's a spider eating a bird. What kind of bird was it? It was a house wren. So it was a house wren.
Tough little birds to get eaten by a spider, man.
Yeah, tough. So number 10, the penultimate question, viral video from Norway that looked like a rabbit. It was a white-necked raven. C, white-necked raven. So not a bird that we often think about as being a pet bird, but certainly exists, I guess. And last but not least, the giant bird of prey carrying a shark was an osprey. Letter A, osprey. And I believe it was carrying one of the sea catfishes, which do actually recall sharks in their body form. They have a big split tail and they have like a big broad head. But
yeah, I got to say that when I first saw that picture, I was like, man, that does look like a shark. It was like a
do. I
thought it was maybe a spiny dogfish or something, but yeah. All right, Niki, how we doing? Where we at?
If the scores are in, and our top 5, big shout out. 5th place is Eva.
Nice, Eva Leidick.
Well
Way
done.
to go.
And tie for 4th place is Corvid and Birdwatchers Digest. I also just want to mention Dawn was the first one to submit most of all the forms. They were very quick off the mark, so well done.
She knows how to hustle. They don't mess around over there at PWD. Yeah.
And then Ty, where was that? 5th, 4th, then 3rd is Ethan.
Nice, Ethan. Way to go, man.
2nd is Green Jays. And first place, Paul Randall,
Paul,
Right
dude.
on.
the man of
Good
the
Well
evening.
done, Paul.
Well done. 27 points.
Nice, man.
Beating second place by 5 points.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Good work, everybody.
Yeah, right
Well
on.
done, guys. Yeah. Yeah. A tough quiz.
Yeah.
Oh,
Challenging.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Hopefully you learned something and yeah, had a good time. So we did,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We
Think
really
always
hope
do,
that,
don't we?
yeah, we really hope we're your best programming tonight. Anybody going to watch Thursday Night Football, I think, was going to be pretty disappointed between the Eagles and the Giants. It's two very, very bad teams. And the same really can be said of the debate later on, I think, although, I'm not going to cast any aspersions beyond that. But yeah, we are confident. I'm rooting for Kristen Welker, who's the debate moderator, a very good friend of mine from high school. She is going to kick ass. That much I am confident of. So I'll be watching for her. But yeah, thanks, everybody. Niki, I guess we need to get in touch with Paul, right?
yeah. So, Paul, I'll be emailing you tomorrow and we'll get your details. Congratulations.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, have a great night, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed the quiz. And yeah, we certainly did. So
And yeah, and everyone from the Rock Jumper team says thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Thanks so much. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Big
everybody.
ups.
Bye.